Native American history is rich with stories of powerful and fearsome tribes who shaped the landscape of North America. Long before European settlers arrived, these tribes dominated vast swaths of the continent, honing their skills in battle, survival, and politics. The term fearsome does not just refer to their prowess in warfare, but also their resilience, cultural depth, and fierce determination to protect their way of life. Here, we explore 7 of the most fearsome Native American tribes that left an indelible mark on history. The Apache's tribe. The Apache people originated in the southwestern United States, inhabiting what is now New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, and the northern parts of Mexico. The Apache were composed of several groups, including the Chiricahua, Mescalero, and Jicarilla. Their nomadic lifestyle, focused on survival in harsh environments, contributed to their reputation as tough, adaptable warriors. One of the main reasons the Apache were feared by settlers, Spanish colonizers, and rival tribes alike was their guerrilla warfare tactics. They were masters of hit-and-run attacks, utilizing the rugged landscape to their advantage. The Apache would ambush unsuspecting enemies and then disappear into the mountains or deserts before retaliation could occur. This ability to strike swiftly and silently, followed by a rapid retreat, made them formidable opponents. Their leader, Geronimo, remains one of the most iconic figures in Native American history. His name became synonymous with Apache resistance to both Mexican and American military forces. Geronimo's relentless campaigns and survival against overwhelming odds have immortalized the Apache's legacy as one of the most fearsome tribes. Despite suffering many losses due to disease and warfare, the Apache people have persevered and today maintain reservations primarily in Arizona and New Mexico. They continue to practice and preserve their cultural heritage while being recognized for their incredible resilience and determination. The Comanche tribe, known as the Lords of the Southern Plains, the Comanche were a dominant force in what is now Texas, Oklahoma, and surrounding regions during the 18th and 19th centuries. Originally part of the Shoshone tribe, they separated and migrated southward, becoming one of the most powerful horse-riding tribes in North America. The Comanche were exceptional horsemen, a skill that gave them an edge in warfare and territorial control. They could ride with such skill that they became the bane of Spanish and later American expansion in the West. The Spanish even called them the horse people because of their ability to ride into battle with speed and precision. Comanche warriors would often attack settlements or rival tribes, looting and capturing prisoners to sustain their power. Their skill in mounted combat was matched by their tactical knowledge of the terrain. Like the Apache, the Comanche used guerrilla warfare, but with the added advantage of fast-moving horse raids. This made them nearly impossible to catch, and they were feared throughout the Great Plains for their ability to appear and disappear as if from nowhere. The Comanche's fierce resistance lasted well into the 19th century, until they were eventually subdued by American forces. Despite this, they remain a significant cultural force in modern times, particularly in Texas and Oklahoma, where their descendants continue to honor their traditions. The Sioux Lakota tribe. The Sioux, particularly the Lakota branch, were a powerful tribe that controlled vast territories in the northern plains, including modern-day South Dakota, North Dakota, and parts of Nebraska. The Lakota were one of the most powerful Native American groups, known for their martial skill and fierce independence. The Sioux were among the last Native American tribes to engage in sustained organized resistance against U.S. expansion. Leaders like Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse are legendary for their role in battles such as the Battle of Little Bighorn in 1876, where the Sioux, along with their Cheyenne allies, defeated General George Custer's forces. This battle remains one of the most famous in U.S. history, symbolizing the fierce resistance of Native Americans against American expansion. The Sioux were formidable fighters, not just because of their numbers, but also due to their strategic use of alliances. They formed coalitions with other tribes when necessary, and their ability to coordinate large-scale battles was a testament to their tactical acumen. Despite being eventually forced onto reservations, the Sioux have maintained their cultural identity. Today, they continue to advocate for their land rights and sovereignty, particularly around sacred sites like the Black Hills. The Lakota language and traditions remain vibrant among their descendants. The Cheyenne tribe. The Cheyenne tribe historically inhabited areas of present-day Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, and the Great Plains. They were closely allied with the Sioux and Arapaho, forming a strong network that resisted white settlement and U.S. military campaigns throughout the 19th century. The Cheyenne were known for their disciplined warriors and their willingness to fight for their homeland. They played a significant role in many key battles, including the Battle of Little Bighorn. The Cheyenne Military Society was structured around elite warrior groups like the Dog Soldiers, whose members were known for their bravery and ferocity in battle. The Dog Soldiers were not just fighters, but also law enforcers within the tribe, and their role in combat was to fight to the death if necessary to defend their people. This unyielding commitment made the Cheyenne a tribe that was both respected and feared. Like many other tribes, the Cheyenne were eventually forced onto reservations. However, their warrior culture and traditions have not faded. Today, the Northern and Southern Cheyenne still uphold their cultural practices and continue to fight for recognition and rights within the U.S. Iroquois Confederacy, Haudenosaunee. The Iroquois Confederacy, also known as the Haudenosaunee, was a powerful alliance of 6 tribes: the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, Seneca, and Tuscarora. Based in the northeastern United States and southeastern Canada, the Iroquois wielded immense political and military power from the 17th century onward. The Iroquois Confederacy was a sophisticated political entity that maintained a balance of power in the region through a combination of diplomacy and warfare. They were adept at forming alliances with European powers, such as the British, to leverage their position against rival tribes and colonial forces. Their military organization was highly advanced for the time, with each member tribe contributing to the collective defense and governance of the Confederacy. The Iroquois were skilled in both open combat and guerrilla tactics, making them a formidable force. Their mastery of woodland warfare allowed them to dominate the northeastern region for centuries. The Iroquois Confederacy's system of governance inspired elements of the U.S. Constitution, particularly their ideas about representative democracy and federalism. Today, the Iroquois continue to play an important role in advocating for Native American rights, and their confederacy remains one of the oldest continuous democracies in the world. The Navajo tribe. The Navajo, or Diné, are one of the largest Native American tribes, originally inhabiting the southwestern United States. They are known for their adaptability, surviving in the harsh desert climates of Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. Their resilience was key in establishing themselves as a powerful and autonomous people. The Navajo were fierce in defending their land against both Spanish and American forces. Their intimate knowledge of the desert allowed them to use guerrilla tactics similar to those of the Apache. In the 19th century, the Navajo were engaged in numerous conflicts with the U.S. military, most notably during the Long Walk in 1864, when thousands were forcibly relocated to the Bosque Redondo Reservation in New Mexico. Despite these setbacks, the Navajo resisted assimilation and managed to return to their homeland in the 1868 Treaty of Bosque Redondo, an extraordinary feat compared to the fates of many other tribes. The Navajo are also known for their contribution to the U.S. military during World War II. The Navajo code talkers were instrumental in secure communications, using their language to send unbreakable codes that helped the Allied forces secure victory in the Pacific. Today, the Navajo Nation is one of the largest and most vibrant Native American communities in the U.S., preserving its language, traditions, and way of life. The Seminole tribe. The Seminole tribe is unique in that it formed relatively late, emerging from a mixture of various Native American groups, primarily Creek, as well as escaped African slaves in Florida. The Seminole were a resilient group that formed their own identity in the swamps and forests of Florida, eventually resisting U.S. forces in what became known as the Seminole Wars. The Seminole Wars, fought between the U.S. military and the Seminole people from 1817 to 1858, were some of the longest and costliest Native American conflicts in U.S. history. The Seminole, under the leadership of figures like Osceola, were masters of guerrilla warfare, using the dense swamplands of Florida to outmaneuver and frustrate U.S. forces. The U.S. military had a hard time coping with the hit-and-run tactics of the Seminole, and despite being outnumbered and outgunned, the Seminole managed to resist removal for decades. Even after much of the tribe was forced west, a small number of Seminoles remained in Florida, never surrendering to U.S. forces. Today, the Seminole are one of the few Native American tribes that never officially signed a peace treaty with the U.S. government. The Seminole tribe of Florida is recognized for its sovereignty and operates successful enterprises, including casinos, making them one of the wealthiest tribes in North America. These 7 tribes, Apache, Comanche, Sioux, Cheyenne, Iroquois, Navajo, and Seminole, represent some of the most fearsome and resilient Native American groups in history. Their legacies are a testament to the strength, adaptability, and courage of indigenous peoples in the face of overwhelming adversity. While each tribe had its unique strategies and cultural practices, they all shared an unwavering commitment to defending their way of life. Today, the descendants of these tribes continue to honor their heritage, keeping alive the memory of their ancestors' fierce spirit.